to see you. Thanks for tuning in today. So, I want to talk to you this afternoon, a quick live stream about the mentality that I learned when I was probably 16 years old. I've carried with me today is how to get anything you want financially speaking, right? Now, this is not just financially because you could apply this to any area of your life, but I want to give you this because if you're watching, I want to help you become greater and greater financially free in your life. I want you to experience more financial freedom because I believe in a world where more good people own and control the majority of wealth, and they use that to create a world where there's greater freedom and improved conditions for humanity across all dynamics of life, right? So that means that I need to help you get the financial education I've gotten. I'm 31 years old. I've achieved a multi-million dollar net worth. I run a multi-million dollar year company. We did about $4 million last year. I've got staff and clients internationally. Right now, I'm nowhere close to where I want to be, but for 31, for me, this was further than I ever thought, right? I grew up poor. Mom and dad had less than $30,000 per year income when I was 8 years old, all in the same summer. We lost our house. It got taken away. The car got repoed. My parents got divorced. I was homeless on my mom's side and on my dad's side. At my dad's house, we were living in a tent in the woods. At my mom's house, we were living in a dry camper behind someone's house. So going from that to being a multimillionaire by age 30, never thought that would happen. Right. And there's a lot of mindsets, but there's one specific mindset that for me that is really helped. And I want to share that with you. And it's an old quote. You might have heard this. And it's if you do what others are not willing to do, you are able to have what others are not able to have. Okay, so I first learned this as a bodybuilder in high school. So I did competitive bodybuilding. I was 2010 junior Mr. Anchorage. I did sports. I did all this team stuff, and finally, I was like, man, I train my ass off, and we still lose at football, right? We still get blown out on our basketball games. So when I got into bodybuilding, it was because of the direct cause and effect aspect. Okay, I could go to the gym, I could work out, I could diet, and I would see a direct result in my physique because of the hard work that I did. Nobody could take that from me, right? Nobody could work, out less or be lazy or cheat on their diet and it impacts my results. So I liked the idea that, I do this and I get that. Okay, and I started to realize that that's actually how life is. Life rewards us for the work that we put in. And so this idea of being willing to do what others won't so that you can have what others aren't able to have, right? That means doing hard stuff, right? Look at the statistics right now. The Social Security Administration reports that less than 5%, sorry, 5 out of 100, so exactly 5% of Americans will be financially secure by age 65. Okay, that's a 95% failure rate. Now, there's two parts of this, right? We can blame the system. We can say, oh, well, we're not getting educated correctly, and the financial tools, the mutual funds, the 401ks, the stocks, the bonds, those aren't working for people, and that's true. That is definitely true, and it's my aim to change that, right? But the other part of it is personal responsibility, because it's easy just to blame Wall Street. It's easy just to blame the banks. It's easy just to blame the government and say it's all their fault, their fault, their fault. That's why I'm not doing well financially. When in reality, there's a lot of it that comes down to my own lack of knowledge and my own poor behavior when it comes to money. And so, this mindset of if I'm willing to do what others aren't willing to do, meaning that I look at the stuff that nobody wants to do, right? What is that with finances? Most people don't want to exercise discipline for long term gratification, right? What are the things that people do want to do? They want to spend their money, they want to go on trips, they want to buy a new car, they want to upgrade their place. So I'm telling you, if you do the opposite of that, you're going to have a leg up on building wealth. And it's not like it's a competition against other people, but I'm saying that as a benchmark, if you look at the general populace and the things that they want to do with their money, logically speaking, the opposite would be things that they don't want to do. They would rather spend than save, right? They would rather drive a new car than a beater. They would rather live in a house they can't afford than one that they can that's not as nice. They would rather take time off than put in extra hours. They would rather enjoy the now than, sacrifice for a few years and earn more income and save. Those are the things people don't want to do. Not that they're not able to, they're unwilling to. Right. And so it's about if I'm willing to do the things no one else is willing to do, I'm going to have results they're not going to have. So, what's an example of that for me? One example I strive to every day is to save 40% of my income, my pre-tax income. Now I know that you guys hear savers are losers and all this stuff by gurus, and then the banks are telling you that you should pay yourself first by giving them all your money, and Wall Street says the same thing. Saving means that I keep money with the intention of investing it for the future. I can't invest money I don't have, guys. That's what saving is. It's not saving for a rainy day. It doesn't cost more money when it rains. That's actually a government war bond campaign from the early 1900s. Okay. I'm not saving for emergencies. Why would I plan to have an emergency with my money? I'm saving for opportunity and investment, just like you would put your food in the fridge, right? Like, sure, if you buy milk and the expiration date's 2 weeks and you leave it in there for 6 months and try and drink it, yeah, the milk's not going to be good. Just like if you put your money in the bank and you leave it there for 2 years and never use it on something, it's not going to be as good when you use it, right? But the discipline of keeping your money, earning lots of income and keeping lots of your income, that's something that not everyone wants to do. And that's a surefire way for you to build wealth because, again, do what others aren't willing to do. Right now, you can be ruthless with this. This is one of those areas where you're only going to be better off for it. So I would literally make it my strategy if I'm watching this video and I'm starting out or I want to get to the next level. I would literally, like, while you're watching this video, make a list of all the things that the people around you aren't willing to do financially because it's uncomfortable or because it's not normal or because of whatever reason not enough of their friends and family do it. I would make that list and then I would make that my hit list. Those are the things I'm now going to do on purpose. I'm going to exploit the fact that no one else is doing those things. Right? Nobody else is becoming their own bank. I'm going to go become my own bank. No one else is saving 40% of their income. So I'm going to go save 40% of my income. No one else is working 80 hours a week. So I'm going to work 80 more hours a week, right? Like that's what I want to focus on. And I'm only going to do that for the next 5, 10, 15 years because here's the reality. That's me buying back my freedom. That's me buying back my financial freedom. In case you've ever seen this movie, Shawshank Redemption, right? One of my favorite movies. Okay, during the day, the main character, he's like in the prison, he's like the accountant, and he's, doing the prison thing, and he's trying to fit in, and he puts up with all the shit that you go through in prison. And then every other moment that he gets when he's not doing those things, he's digging his way out. Okay, his day to day life is more uncomfortable than everyone else there. Okay, but at the end of the movie, he's on the beach, they're all still in prison. Right, and financially that's the same outcome. Is your day-to-day existence while you're doing this plan will be more intense, it will be more stressful, you will give up more things today, but in 5 years, 10 years, you're going to be out of financial prison. You're not going to have to trade time for money anymore. You'll be able to exist doing the things you want to do and have true financial freedom while everyone else isn't able to. And that's that phrase of do what others won't do so that you can have what they can't have, right? So if you're watching this, I want to give you access to a book of mine. Okay, this is called How to Create Wealth. When I first started doing this stuff, guys, I did a lot of research. I spent years and years researching the actual historical top 1% of wealth. Old, dead, wealthy people. What did they do with their money? And I started to realize there's some common patterns. Okay, things that I saw all of them doing. And so I put those together. I started doing it myself. That's how I got to where I'm at. I'm not a genius. I'm just really good at understanding a pattern and then following the pattern, right? But I wrote that as a book because I don't think you need to do, 3, 4, 5, 6 years of research. Okay. So if you go to jerryfetta.com, just my first and last name, jerryfetta.com, you can get a free copy of my book, How to Create Wealth. Okay. How to Create Wealth is going to give you the step by step in order and sequence, the things you should know about as a starter so that you can begin making this kind of progress. Thank you for watching. I'm going to go and tune out, guys. I will be back again tomorrow. Like, share, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on if this helped you, and I'll see you next time.